Shalom to the house of Israel. I start off first and foremost by giving all honor, all glory, all praises to Yahweh, Bahasham Yahushai, Bahasham Harukakudash, double honors to the apostles, prophets, and teachers of Great Millstone, our spiritual fathers who rule well, teach well, peace and salutations to the sincere Akim and Akwath, who follow this truth in all diligence and all sincerity. I'm my brother Abaniah of the South Arm of the Great Millstone Camp, coming to you with another hopefully edifying lesson. Now I came across this video. One of the Akim sent this video for me, and I couldn't help but laugh and say I had to do a little video on it. Now this Edomite woman is basically letting the other Edomites know that their rulership is at an end. And Jake have a tendency to not believe us when we tell them this, and they tend to believe it from a so-called whitey person's mouth, right? So let's see, per this video and this lesson, if they would believe it. Now, they quoted in the scripture, 2 Ezra 6, and I think it's verse 9, where it says, "For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that follow it." You see, when you look throughout history, every kingdom that was before have been succeeded by another kingdom that rose up and overthrew that kingdom. And this is going to be no different, right? Men have purpose in their heart to build kingdoms and legacies that they believe would last throughout eternity. But it never does. Only one king was promised a legacy that will last, that is eternal, and that is Yahushai HaMashiach. No other king, no other kingdom will enjoy that reign of prosperity and that eternal reign as Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai and his kingdom. Right? So let me just play the video and then we go into a couple of scriptures after.
How else to tell my demographic of people that it's over? I don't know how clearer I can say it to us than to say it's over. Our control, our power, our privilege, it's over. It's over. And it doesn't matter if you have a Democrat or a Republican in the House, whomever is in control will only push us closer and closer to our inevitable end, which is civil war. And I smile and smirk because I'm ready for that. It is the only way that we're going to get to what we need in order to live in this country. And to be honest, white people, we might not be welcome here when it's all said and done. Are you ready for that? That's if you even accept that we're going into civil war and you can survive that part. Y'all are too busy hanging on to the privilege of our grandparents, thinking that if you just continue just to hold on for dear life, everything will go back to the leave it the beaver racist ways when we all had privilege and we were in control and on top of society. No, the pandemic took care of that. My message to white people is get ready. Get prepared. Figure out what side you're on and be 10 toes down. Because regardless of what you're holding on to from the past, the future is war, and it's coming.
Now you heard her. This is why President-elect right now ran on the campaign, MAGA, Make America Great Again. When was America great? Or the greatest time in American history is when they had our people in subjugation, building their schools, building their homes, building their streets, doing everything for them. Right? This is why that Make America Great Again slogan was so popular that it caused Donald Trump to be re-elected. A lot of persons want to go back to that era in time, which they consider to be the height of prosperity. But notice, she is letting them know that their days of privilege are over. And civil war is inevitable. And she's even showing them, as a result of this war, they would lose. So let's go to the scriptures. This is Ecclesiasticus chapter 41. I will start from verse 5. It says, the children of sinners are abominable children, and they that are conversant in the dwelling of the ungodly. The inheritance of sinners' children shall perish, and their prosperity shall have a perpetual reproach. Now Esau is known as the man of sin. Why? Because Esau was taught the laws, statutes, and commandments by his father Isaac, who was Yahushai. So he knew. This is why Psalms, it records him as casting the instructions of the Most High behind his back. But I know there's a mystery a lot of you not ready for, and even those of you who heard it, you still can't accept it. It says, their children will complain of an ungodly father, because they shall be reproached for his sake. So there's Esau's children is basically going batshit crazy because of the atrocities that their forefathers have done. You know, they seeing that their rulership is at an end. Now I want to say this. Scripture says every man will pay for his own sin. And whether or not you want to believe in reincarnation, it is true. And a lot of these children who paying for, as they say, the proverbial, paying for the sins of your parents, your grandparents, so like your great-grandparents, is nothing more than you coming back in the regeneration cycle to pay for the transgression you committed when you were a forefather. You just paying for your own sin. That's what it is. You saying I'm paying for my sin when my great-grandfather or my great-great-great-great-grandfather did. That's you. Come back to receive that judgment. Because the scripture says every man will perish for his own sin. Nobody is going to be held accountable for the sin of another person. Everyone will have to perish for their own sin. So this is why these people complaining now. They're basically saying they are the ungodly. Some of them may not understand about reincarnation. It doesn't change the fact that what they're saying is linked to reincarnation. So it says, the children will complain of an ungodly father, because they shall be reproached for his sake. Woe be unto you, ungodly men, which have forsaken the law of the Most High Power. For if ye increase, it shall be to your destruction. And there's what. Alright, so they complaining because of an ungodly father. It said, woe be unto you, ungodly men, which have forsaken the law of the Most High Power. For if ye increase, it shall be to your destruction. So everything you were able to build, all the wealth you were able to accumulate, all of that was your building up towards your inevitable ending. And we know that Babylon the Great, as well as the other nations that she ruled over, became great through the enslavement and the subjugation of the children of Israel. So, you know, there's an old saying we used to hear growing up. Birds who fly too high fall from the sky. Because every bird have a specific altitude it can reach. All birds don't go to the same altitude. So if you're a bird that have a particular altitude and you try to go above it, it usually ends in your downfall. And it's the same thing happening here, you know, because these are the same people, as the scriptures say. Let's see if I can get it. Right. Micah 2:1. Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, They practice it because it is in the power of their hands. So all the evil that they were able to do, they were able to do it because they had the power. They had the rulership. So it was easy for them to do the things that they did. What are some of it? And they covet fields and take them by violence. Those fields is not only talking about the literal ground that you walk on. It's also referencing people, families. They covet fields and take them by violence, and houses and take them away. So they oppress a man and his house, even a man and his heritage. So they stole, rape, pillage, they stole our identity. They started calling themselves us and demonizing us to say we are not what they call themselves. You know? And all this is according to prophecy. Right? So as the days and the months go by, you're going to see a lot of these people making declarations like what she made, indicating indicating that they see in the kingdom at an end. This is why they're trying so hard to stop this movement of bringing back who we are to our people. This is why they're demonizing the true prophets of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai. So with that, I pray that this little lesson is edifying to the spirit and power of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai. I'm your brother Benaiah of the South Arm of the Great Millstone Campaign, Trinidad, Heralds of Yahushai, saying Shalom, Labakariam, and Abad Babad. See you till the next live lesson.